Good evening. My name is Judy Alexis, and you are most welcome to Africa's Future Leaders. On this edition of the program, we introduce you to a young woman for whom the word impact means many different things. We show you how as we share her incredible story with you.
It's good actually. It's been a bit hectic. She's going to have to be there because...
For this young entrepreneur and ICT professional, the day begins at full speed. While it is only one of many occupations, establishing corporate relationships for IBM is her day job.
Okay, bye.
And that brings her to this Nigerian tech hub to discuss business.
Now, welcome to the...
Hi guys. Hi.
I have Hawa over here. She's a media strategist.
Hi.
3D guy. We have Abbas over here. He's the illustration guy.
Hi guys. Hi. Hi.
Now, so let me show you outside. This is basically...
Maybe we can talk outside.
Yeah, sure. Come on.
This is really pretty.
Thank you very much. So this is the outdoor. Yeah, we can sit right over here. No problem.
The thing about Digital Nation Africa is that it's for people of all backgrounds and all educational backgrounds. So for those that have never ever even used a computer or understood what a website is, up until people that want to code, that are interested in developing artificial intelligence and robotics applications and so on. So it's a great program, and we really think that we could get a lot of traction in Nigeria, and that's why we're really happy that Black Group is interested in working with us on this.
Bringing in what DNA has, actually, we'd be able to create a center to be able to promote and expand all over. So I think it's a very exciting time for us. We're super excited, and I can assure you that, on behalf of Black Group, we'll do whatever it takes for us to be able to, succeed and move forward.
Thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you very much.
You're
See you soon. Come on.
Thank you. Sunday, get ready to Zoom, you have to.
Now on the move, if the first meeting was professional, her next meeting is entrepreneurial.
See if I can get through to somebody. I'll try the general number and see if it picks up.
Here at this cafe, Judy pitches her homemade butters to a popular local relaxation spot.
When I wanted to try and eat more healthily, obviously I go to the supermarket, I'm reading the back of labels, and I'm seeing so many additives and things, and I'm like, things that are this simple, they don't need all of that kind of stuff in them. Like, why can't I have butters that are just nuts and a little bit of oil, a pinch of salt here and there, and that's the kind of food that I want to eat.
The owner accepts Judy's proposal.
The heart, and you're passionate about it, and you're also encouraging the young generation to eat healthy, because in Nigeria we have extremely healthy things. So luckily for me, I'm a Nigerian by birth. 50 years here, so I said I can carry both worlds into one place.
No, you definitely really captured that. I love the art as well.
Yeah,
it's very, very, very pretty.
They're all by Nigerian artists. Yeah, I promote young artists.
Or 3 o'clock even, I'll speak to him now. I'm going to try and get there earlier, but let's just see if it's possible.
On the move again, but this time en route to her own eatery. Her restaurant is filled with young people, and Judy meets with a potential business partner as she seeks to expand into a larger facility.
So now that you've seen the space, I think you can see what it is. Like, it's just very much a buka for like local people that live around, and we wanted to make really cheap, really affordable Nigerian food with good quality ingredients. Aside from this, I also do like vegan meals, which are not made here, they're made somebody else. So we have vegan options, salads, things like that, fresh juices. That's why I started producing my nut butters as well. So now we want a space where we can bring both of those things together. So you want to have a much bigger space somewhere inside town where I can fuse this kind of like local food, buka kind of setting, with the more sophisticated health food kind of meals.
I mean, with the packaging of the takeaway packs will cater for the marketing event. We're going to put some stuff on the nutrient content, like trying to do something out of the box, make people want to know that the stuff they're buying is very good. They're not just buying regular shawarma or something.
But I found there's a huge delivery market. At the moment, I make meal plans, so people sign up for 1 month. If they want to lose weight or if they have a certain goal. So I have a number of people that are signed up for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So every day we deliver them breakfast, lunch and dinner targeted to their weight loss or sometimes even weight gain goals for guys. But what happened with the vision boards?
The afternoon is fast spent as Judy is consulted on preparations for the day's closing event. She arrives for a woman empowerment meeting she organized. Upon her arrival at the venue, she quickly changes into African fabric. Before opening the session by listening to participants.
I know I would get something which would empower me because for a long while now I've been looking for a security job and everything. At least to have an idea of how to grow and build up in whatever I'm trying to start.
Many people, when they come for things like this, they're looking for what somebody can give to them. A lot of people will say, I want to start a business, but I don't have money. So if someone can give me 5 million naira, then I can start this, I can start that. But you're not so much thinking about what you have to give back. But forget about what you want to do or what you think you want to become. Think of the experiences that you want to have in life. So what are the most important experiences for you? In the next 5 years, what are some of the things that you want to experience? It could be anything whatsoever. From holding your child to experiencing traveling. How do you think you'll feel when you have those things? So all those things that you've listed on the list, say you want to have a car, you want to travel, you want to do this, how would you feel when you're doing them? This event is organized by myself and my partner. And today we're doing a number of different activities. We have the ladies working on their vision boards. We also have some clothes available. We sell these clothes at a token of 500 naira, and that money goes back into creating other events like this and helping other women that are part of our network. We also have vision boxes, so for ladies or gentlemen even that can afford vision boxes and they actually want to do vision boards at home or with their kids or so on, then we have those available for sale and all the proceeds go back into the network as well. We have an organization called 100 Women Africa, and our goal each year is to help 100 women. Today we're having a garden party, and the garden party is an opportunity to do vision boards and help women figure out the next steps in their life. It's still quite early in the year, so we want people to try and get ideas together for how they want to progress it for the rest of 2018. Personally, I do a lot of vision boards. I'm a big fan of like writing things down, because I found that there was a time when I used to have so many ideas and I'll talk about them with my friends and we'll all get really excited and then nothing will happen. And nothing will happen a lot of times because you're not writing out a plan. I think an idea without anything, like any steps to how you're going to achieve it, is really just a dream. But any dream, I think you can actually actualize it if you start writing it down, if you start putting steps together to how you're going to achieve it, and if you actually just take the first step. So I find that events like this are the first step for a lot of people. Aside from just doing the vision boards, at the end of this exercise, you're going to be partnered with, the ladies are going to be partnered with mentors. And when they're partnered with mentors, those people are kind of like an accountability partner. So if I say, okay, I want to take the next few steps, then that person is somebody that's actually going to check on you and find out why you haven't, if you haven't. So I feel that that's really important. I feel a lot of women don't reach their true potential because they don't have the tools to plan or the kind of guidance that they need to get there. I do a number of things, and a lot of people feel that you have to do one thing and you have to focus on that thing or you'll be a jack of all trades. But then I find that I follow people like Richard Branson and those kind of people that actually do a lot of different things. I have a lot of different passions, and I feel that the majority of my passions are around development. And I found that that development was at first myself. So I did a lot of work on myself to develop myself personally. And then I now feel the need to give a lot of that back. And so I found that if there are things that I'm passionate about, then I also want to share those things with other people. So I became passionate about healthy eating because it was important to me in my life. And because I'm passionate about health for myself and for my family, I now want to share that with other people. So that's how when I decided to become vegan last year, a lot of friends and people I'm always talking like, this is what I'm doing. And everyone's like, okay, cool, can you show me how to do it? So I set up a vegan group, and then people were like, but we want to eat the kind of food that you make at home and I like your pictures. So then from there we started making food, developed the restaurant, started to develop other products because these are products that I make at home and I enjoy and my family and friends enjoy them. So why not share them with more people? Things like this women's empowerment thing is stuff that I do myself. I'm always getting my friends to write down plans and I'm always trying to motivate them. So this is just like another way of expanding that and giving that experience to more people. I've always had this idea that you're never going to get rich working for somebody else. And as much as I like giving back and I do enjoy my job and I enjoy my career, I've always felt that I needed to have something else outside of that, something that's mine, something that I can grow, something that's my vision. I love seeing my vision come to life. I like being able to envision these things and then create them and then have them out there in supermarkets or wherever. I really enjoy that process.
Judy is at home, but at work. As chefs prepare the day's food deliveries, she says nothing has ever seemed impossible to her because of one special woman.
I don't think that there were any particular events that shaped that for me. I feel that I never felt that women couldn't do things. So it's only maybe later in life that I started to meet women that felt slightly more limited. I'd always felt that, I guess I'd been brought up to believe I could be anything that I wanted to be. And I genuinely believed that. And so I never really saw those limitations. Like I've always felt that anything is possible. And so that's always, I guess it's been ingrained in me. And I've had a lot of strong women in my life and I've seen them doing things and achieving their dreams. So I never really felt that, I don't know, those things were unattainable to me. I think maybe moving to Nigeria, that's where I was slightly, I started to notice that people's mindset towards women achieving things was slightly different. I feel that like maybe as a young child, you're taught, yes, you can be a president and all those kind of things. And then when you get into your early 20s, that's when it's more like you should think more about getting married or you should think more about settling down and not really aim for those things as much. Definitely my mom has had a great impact on me. She's always been a very strong woman. She's always worked, but then she's always had businesses and things like that as well. For a long time, she was a sole distributor for a high-end women's wear apparel line in the UK. And so that business was part of my life growing up. So we would have clients at the house, we'd have people coming to her showroom and so on. So that was a huge thing for me. She used to travel a lot to pursue her passions. I was basically her handbag, and I would go to a lot of these countries with her where she's going to source for gold or other things. And so I guess that was always part of my journey from a very early age. I think it was a lot of resilience. My mum's very resilient, so I think it was just like no matter what happened, I always knew that we would be good. She's always been somebody that values family as well. So like we were brought up in an environment that was full of like relatives. There was always like lots of life and people together. So she was really she really is, I keep saying was, Mummy, I know you're there. she is one of those people that brings people together. She's always had a bunch of friends. There's always activity going on. She's always been able to juggle so many different things. She's always had so much life and so much laughter, and I think that's one of the things that really inspired me. Like even when bad things have happened or we've had negative times in our family and so on, she's always been somebody that's been able to like hold everybody together and make something good come out of that. So I think that's definitely inspired me. It's always made me feel that like no matter what happens in life, as long as you have life, you have hope. And so I feel that as long as I'm alive, there's nothing that can be so bad that I can't get through it or get past it and come out better on the other side.
Taking example from leaders of sectors, positive impact is Judy's ultimate pursuit.
I think the most important thing for me is impact. So I want everything I do to impact the most lives possible. Be that through my normal work during the day, or be that through things that I do personally. So I think I want to have a lot of impact. I feel that like the only way you can leave a lasting legacy is by the number of lives that you touch. So I would like in 10 years' time a lot of people to be like, oh wow, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been able to fill in the blanks. So whatever it is that I've helped them achieve, but if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to do this. If it wasn't for her, my kids may not have an education. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be as empowered. So I just really want that impact to spread across the continent. You need to be able to have impact and make sure that you're leading people in the right direction. It's very easy to be charismatic, but then if you're not leading people to the right place, then that's when it becomes a problem. And I think we see that sometimes with our leaders across Africa, which aren't doing, I guess, as well as they could be. People can tell authenticity. So I think if you're doing something that is very, very authentic, then people can tell. And people can tell when it's not coming from an authentic place as well. So I feel that like internally, I always know the difference between right and wrong, and I feel that the majority of us do. And sometimes that moral compass can become a bit skewed. But I feel that you need to, firstly, I think for that, when you are in a leadership position, you need to have people around you that can make sure that they're getting you back onto the right path if you ever come off it. So I think having people that you're accountable to is really important. No matter how high you are, you need to have people that you're accountable to that can actually put you back in line. You need to, religion is important to me. I'm Christian, and I think my relationship with God also guides my moral compass and the way that I choose to do things. But I think it's, why would you want to lead people down the wrong path? Like, why would you want to do things in a negative way? For me, I feel that the more positive you are, the more positive things come to you. And so I just feel it's better to try and stay aligned to that. Early last year, I had a health scare. It was just a scare, and it turned out that everything was fine. But I'm a panicker. And so when I was just like, okay, I may have like this terrible disease, like what's gonna, I noticed a lump. And so for a while, I was really scared that it was the big C. And so I was like thinking like what can be done? Are there like, what options are there? And so I discovered people like Dr. Sebi, who's a doctor from Honduras that believed that you could treat things through what you put into your body and how you eat and eating an alkaline diet. And so I did so much research around that, and I found people reversing cancer and all different kinds of things by what they put into their body. And it just seemed amazing to me. Then after a while, while it seemed kind of crazy that if you know that things could eventually cause you disease, then why are you eating them? So it made me like a lot more aware of the kind of things I was buying. When I go to supermarkets, I'll read labels, and as I'm reading labels and seeing all these additional things that are put into our food, I'm just like, I don't want to eat like this, so what are the alternatives? Like, why can't I eat things that are a lot more natural? And when I travel, it's fantastic, even though even abroad it's really, really expensive to go to Whole Foods and all these kind of stores that are, there's a premium to it. And in Nigeria, we have a wealth of fruits and vegetables and everything. And people seem to assume that because it's grown in Nigeria that it is organic. But then I met a lady that runs the Organic Association of Nigeria, and we realized that it isn't. That lots of farms in Nigeria do use a lot of these nasty pesticides and things, but because it's not as regulated, you don't actually know which vegetables you're buying are organic and which aren't, and so on. And so I started doing a lot more research around that in Nigeria. I found a network of farmers that make or that grow organic produce, and they sell them, they even deliver them, and it's even a lot cheaper than the kind of things you can buy in supermarkets and sometimes in the open markets here. So I started looking at that, and I knew what I wanted to feed to myself and my family, but then other people were also interested. And so I started creating healthier meals for people. And then I wanted to take that a step further and create produce that I could sell that doesn't have all those additives and things like that.
Judy's participation in the YALI program proved eye-opening.
YALI was amazing. It was a really, really interesting opportunity. And for me, like, I've been out of formal education for a while. Like, I haven't really done that much since I left university. And so going back and being able to study something that was so relevant to me in what I'm doing at the moment was really, really important for me. I was based at the University of Arizona, and I did public management. And it was a wake-up call. I think YALI was a wake-up call because it shows you how much you can impact your community, and how sometimes you think the things that you're doing are small and disjointed, but then when you meet so many other young people that have the same kind of passion and values as you, it just makes you want to do more, and it gives you that push to be able to do it.
Not to be limited by challenges and cultural norms, Judy represents what is possible for people who seek to make an impact in diverse ways, even from diverse backgrounds. Born and raised abroad, she has given her life to the calling of her fatherland and to the service of her people. Her genuine desire to help others and her sincerity of purpose separates Judy from many other achievers on the continent. My name is Judy Alexis. Until next time, lead where you are, and followers will find you.